Hey, are you ready to take your podcast to the next level and turn it into a powerful lead generation tool? If you're tired of struggling with marketing, messaging, and finding the right clients, or if you're tired of just feeling like you're only having this podcast to basically post content and build your brand instead of to actually get sales, then you're in the right place. Because in this video, I'm going to share strategies to help you to create effective sales funnels using your podcast so that you can attract high quality clients and increase your revenue. So stick around because this is going to be a game changer. Welcome to my channel, by the way. I'm Letitia, a high-ticket organic marketing coach specializing in multi-channel marketing, business alignment, and launching. So if you're looking for multi-channel marketing strategies, marketing tech, launch planning, and business alignment tips, you've come to the right place. So make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of the valuable content. Okay, but in this video, like I said, we're going to dive into how to leverage your podcast to drive conversions. And trust me, you're going to love these strategies because they're very simple. The first is podcast ads. Ads. They can be your secret weapon when it comes to leveraging your podcast for conversions. I want to explore two of the recommended places to incorporate your ads, and that would be pre-roll and mid-roll. So pre-roll ads are those captivating 15 to 30 second messages that play at the very beginning of your episode. They're obviously perfect for capturing your listeners' attention right from the start. And those mid-roll ads, on the other hand, actually provide an interruption-free listening experience when they're inserted during natural breaks in your content. Either way, both are fantastic opportunities to promote your own offers and eventually open doors for sponsored ads from other companies. Something that I want to remind you of is that you are not a professional podcaster. You're a service provider, you're a coach, you're a consultant. So you have to remember that it's okay for your ads to just be about your own business. I think a lot of business owners forget that we're not trying to be content creators. We're business owners, and our calls to action have to do with us providing services or our coaching programs. So you should not be looking to have sponsored ads necessarily. It is best for you to leverage the ad space to promote your own paid offers. So the next thing that you can use to help you to generate sales for your business leveraging through your podcast is show notes, because show notes may seem like a very small detail, but they actually hold a significant potential for driving conversions. These are just written summaries that accompany each episode in podcast apps like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Play. And I'll make sure on the screen here, you'll be able to see how it looks on each one of them. But every one of the apps, whichever one your person chooses to listen to your podcast on, they'll be able to get access to your show notes. Now, when you're crafting your show notes, include essential elements like the episode title, a summary of the content, timestamps for easy navigation, relevant resources and links, and of course, a powerful call to action. Show notes just ensure that listeners have all the information that they need to make it easier for them to take action. Now, I always take a little moment to hear from you because I think it's important to know what are some of the calls to action. What's one kind of call to action that you find most effective in podcast show notes? I want you to drop your answer in the comments below. And I'm going to share mine first. I care about the show notes, but specifically when you mention in the episode something that I should go to the show notes for. So I'm always very careful when I'm recording my podcast to say, I'll say something and then I'll say, you can attend that event. I have the link in the show notes for you to attend that event that I mentioned or whatever. Or if you want access to that resource as well, go to my show notes and click on the link and you'll get access right away. Just little things like that. Whatever the person says in the episode and they refer me to the show notes, when I go to the show notes, I'm looking for something that sounds like the reference that they made. So keep that in mind. But also share with me some of the other types of call to actions or kinds of call to actions that make you want to go to the show notes and click on them. So now let's move on. The next thing I want to share is that you should mention your offer throughout the episode. Imagine in your podcast just having a natural conversation and seamlessly incorporating mentions of your offers. It's all about just finding those perfect moments to talk about the problem, the solution, and then even presenting a compelling case study. Those are all the types of episodes where you can easily and seamlessly just mention your offer. And just like when someone asks about something like your outfit, you would discuss the individual piece. Like, oh, my shirt, I love this top. It fits so nicely. Here's the material. It feels like this. It's made of this. And then I would naturally mention where I purchased those clothes from. This is the same principle that applies to your podcast. Also, in your episode, you want to make sure you're shifting perspectives, addressing problems, providing solutions, and then again, weaving those mentions of your offers into the conversation naturally. It's just all about creating a genuine connection with your audience. Finally, the last thing before we wrap up is I want to dive into the nitty-gritty of creating effective sales funnels for your podcast as a lead generation tool. And here I'm going to share 5 of the valuable tips that are going to help you get started. Number 1 is always include a lead magnet in your show notes links. I don't care how many other links you have to your social media channels and your website or whatever thing you mentioned, always have access to a lead magnet that's related to the topic of the episode in the show notes. Tip number 2 is purchase a domain name that is easy to remember for all of your lead magnets and your offers. Every lead magnet that I have, from leadoverflowworkshop.com to winningquadfecta.com, I have every domain name, Revolutionary Society for my membership.com. I have all of the domain names for all of my offers, specifically because if you're in the middle of an episode, would you rather say go to revolutionarysociety.com, or would you rather say go to atelierletitia.com/revolutionary society? It's just too long. But if I just said the words.com, it's easier for people to remember and go to. Tip number 3, create unique trackable links to monitor leads generated specifically from your podcast. I personally like to use Google Analytics lead link tool. I'm going to share it in the show notes. See how I said the show notes? I meant to say I'm going to share it in the description of this YouTube video. This is something that you should naturally be doing every single time you are leveraging one of your marketing channels to generate sales or leads for any of your offers, is to have a trackable link so that you know where your leads or conversions are coming from. Tip number 4, set up an email nurture sequence for your lead magnet. You should have a lead magnet naturally that is going to lead someone to your paid offer, and there should be an email sequence nurturing those people to that sale, or at least building and establishing a relationship with them. They're not always going to buy from you from that first lead magnet, but you do want to have a lead magnet to capture people's email addresses and have a relationship with them outside of the podcast, which doesn't really give you access to people's names or information. And lastly, tip number 5, implement retargeting ads for viewers and visitors to your sales page. So the people who went to your, website, who went to the page for your podcast episode, likely to listen to it, you want to retarget those people with any of the things that you might have, like content related to the actual offer itself. And visitors who actually make it to your sales page, retarget them and talk more about your offer, or put any supplementary ads to pointing them to that offer in the ads. If you're ready to take your podcast and business growth to unparalleled heights, then join the Revolutionary Society membership today. As a member, you'll gain access to live masterclasses, exclusive workshops, ready-to-use templates, engaging community hangouts, and much more. But when you join, you'll also get access to all the previous month's masterclasses, workshops, and Q&A sessions. I've covered everything from TikTok. We talked about high ticket video content for TikTok. We've talked about lead generation using email. We talked about blogging for SEO. We've talked about Pinterest for lead generation. We just had someone come on and talk about podcasting for lead generation. Every single month we cover a specific topic. We've covered operations. We covered how to repurpose your content. We've covered a lot since September of 2022. And when you join, you immediately get access to all of those. But this month's topic, like I said, was podcasting for lead generation. We had a guest expert who specializes in helping people to generate leads and sales from their podcast. So you'll be able to watch that masterclass and the workshop. So don't miss out and grab this opportunity to get all of those resources and to work on your multi-channel marketing strategies by joining the membership. Before we wrap up, also don't forget to answer my question. I really want to know, what kind of call to actions do you find most effective in the show notes of podcasts? I can't wait to hear your thoughts and continue that conversation. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found these strategies very valuable for leveraging your podcast as a high converting sales funnel. I have a podcast, by the way, you should listen to. It's Revolutionary CEO Podcast. And I will have the link for that in the description for you to listen to it. And remember, by implementing these tips, you'll attract high quality clients, increase your revenue, and build strong, recognizable brand your podcast. Stay tuned for more multi-channel marketing, tech, and business content, and I'll see you in the next video.